My name is Deacon Paul Lunsford, and I'm the president of Guerin Catholic High School. My primary role is to hold the school to its Catholic identity and to its mission and purpose of our bishop. And then it is to make sure that the school has the capital and funding necessary for it to be able to operate. We were built in 2004, was our first year. We opened with 100 students, about 75 freshmen and 25 sophomores. And in that period of time, which I guess would be about 12 years at this point, we've grown to 750 students. Honestly, as the executive officer of the school, I was exhausted. And I was exhausted with the constant drip, drip, drip of IT issues, all of which were above or to the left or the right of my acumen or pay grade. I didn't have the money, being a Catholic high school, to simply step in and slam it closed. And I didn't have the insider acumen to even know what to do if I wanted to do that. So we needed to find a group of individuals who could assess our situation, look at it very professionally with a broad viewpoint of other people's experiences, suggest various prescriptions, and then be able to execute those prescriptions in a manner that made all of my dreams come true, which is I don't want to talk about IT anymore. I just want to run a great high school. We needed expertise, broad-based. When we dealt with Vista and they came in for our interview of their expertise, they sat at the table in a little different posture. Theirs was one of questions and listening, a lot of writing down. And then they left, at which point, when they returned, the presentation was really complete and so individualistic and tailored to our particular needs. That kind of attention to personal detail, listening to us at that level, really closed the door on who we were going to do business with. But that just got us started with Vista. We had no idea at that point that we were actually going to be as successful as we ultimately have been. They executed at an extremely high level. Well, one of the biggest challenges that we have is device overload. At Guerin Catholic High School, we're what's called a one-to-one school. Every student has a MacBook Pro, a very powerful computer. Our kids don't come in with one device. Yeah, they have a MacBook Pro, which they all must have, but they have an iPhone in their pocket, an iPad in their backpack, and probably 3 or 4 other devices that we don't know about. All of them choosing to connect and reconnect as they walk around the building on the wireless system. That connection and access and the capacity to handle that mobile movement of data flow was overwhelming, particularly to very smart, very well-intended, very purposeful employees who wanted to make a difference but didn't know how to solve it. And when Vista came in, they knew the solution. It was how do we roll it out and how do we pay for it? A team came in, not just a single individual, a team of expertise came in, and they went over all of the servers, everything down to the air conditioning in the room, and the duplicity of that. And they wanted to know about our connectivity to the internet. They wanted to know what our fiber optics were capable of, and were they redundant? And did they come from 2 uniquely different sources? Lots of great disaster recovery questions. The managed services of Vista have been fantastic. I pretty much know nothing about them. And the reason for that is everything works. But again, from an administrative CEO type level, I know nothing, and it's wonderful. The advantage of dealing with an Vista, where you have one company versus a multiple sources of information, is you have both. When you're within Vista, you have multiple sources of information because the company is so broad and the acumen is so wide. But yet they're philosophically on the same page, so they come to execute with the same culture. This is the big difference. When you're dealing with varying vendors, you have varying cultures, all interfacing on your network. Thank you very much. When you can get that culture to be uniquely similar and then have the broad expertise, it's the perfect world. Before in Vista, we had IT expertise and people who were totally focused on that. What's happened with Vista, by them coming in and asking questions and being a little bit overwhelmed by our own vision, they were able to become a part of that vision and then execute it. So now, IT is facilitating the education rather than being its limit or its restriction. Well, my relationship with Vista has just really been fantastic. It's taken me from, as a president of an organization, dealing with a constant headache of what's next. This relationship has allowed me to put this educational process delivered through technology in the hands of true experts inside my own building because they had Vista to back them up. I would say Vista is someone they should take a look at because they, quite frankly, don't have time to be distracted. And their primary purpose as CEO or president is to guide, have vision, look out the window, see where we're going, and stay on course. To stay with the major benefactors of the organization, not be concerned about downtime, students not being able to complete tests, issues of academic integrity coming up because they're able to walk around the system because it's not sophisticated enough, worries about the system going down and how we're going to capitalize a disaster like that. With Vista, you get a whole set of resources, not only just in design and in focus, but they will also tailor the costs of this system and their ongoing advice in a manner that you can tolerate and budget and plan for. And that's huge. Going from an unknown of I'll deal with the disaster when it happens, somehow capitalize it, to I can plan and budget. Wow, what a relief.